He torched me. We'll send someone in.
Hello. Happy Friday. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I have my mic. Hold on. How do I do that? No, settings. There it is. Okay, hold on. Echo cancellation. Mic volume. Can y'all still hear me? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fairy Dust. Thank you for renewing. I appreciate you. Hey, Deets, Grandma Sherry, Dad, Catawampus, Quirky, Grandma Sherry, Boston. Hello. Am I too quiet? Do I need to? I'm usually too loud, so I cut my mic volume down. All right, let's see. Let me pull up my other stuff while we're getting going. All right. Okay, good. Oh, I'm low. Oh, thank you for renewing, Grandma. I love you. So sweet. It says I can select for it to automatically adjust mic volume, but I feel like it doesn't do it then. Oh, thank you, Okie. Thank y'all so much. I love you guys. Hey, Carrie. Is this better? Do I still sound too low? Uh, Amy, I don't know how I feel about her release. Oh, thank you, A whole gummy, man. Hey, Ellie. Grandma was a litty titty last night. Okay, good. All right. I went to sleep to them. Like I fell asleep right before Queen ended it because I like I heard her saying that she was gonna get off, but then everybody kept talking for a little bit. Thank you, Kate. Oh, all right, Kate. Look, Deets is in here and Grandma Sherry. I'm not gonna mod Grandma Sherry because she don't want to do it. I'm just kidding. I don't mind. It's fine. Let's see. I don't mind. It's Grandma was litty titty. I'm probably gonna do another. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this live, and then I'm gonna get off for a little bit and spend some time with Hubs before he goes to bed, and then I'll probably get back on because I have another stream I want to do pertaining to Dolly and misinformation he was spreading today. I think it was today. I'll have to go back and look. No, I want to mod you guys because not everybody's always here, you know? Like, I just want y'all to make sure the chat, and that's one thing I wanted to talk about before we started this stream. I want to make sure that nobody feels like they're doing anything that they don't want to do. Like, I don't really even expect you to come in here and constantly drop links and, remind people to go give me a like every now and then, but mostly just make sure nobody's getting out of pocket too bad, you know? Um, and it's just, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation, absolutely. I don't want, like, I think maybe it's Jen might drop my Cash App every now and then, and my mom would do it. And then I was like, I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't like dropping it. So, Jen, if you're listening, let's not drop the Cash Apps. I know you barely do it, but let's just not do it at all. It feels tacky. Hey, Gina. Yeah, you are, Grandma. I don't want y'all to work. I just want y'all to enjoy. And then while you're enjoying, if you see some fuck shit, just, do what you need to do. I have such good mods. Hey, Mom. Oh, Lord, she's here. Okay, let's see. I don't know how I feel about uh oh, Steph B, I've got an email from you. Ooh, I see. It's about mushroom gummies. Okay, I'm gonna check that in just a little bit. Okay, I don't know how I feel about Leslie Van Houten getting out of prison. I don't think I like it. So let's see. Is that the right one? Hold on. Oh, no, I'm not going to play that one. Let's go to the other one. Oh, I've got another. Oh, I need to start checking my emails more. Oh no, Rockstar Simply, if you're listening, I just seen your email. I'm absolutely going to look into this tonight. Actually, let me look into it right now. A missing woman out of Columbus, Georgia, who isn't getting much attention. Okay, I got it, Rockstar. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that. Let's see. I've got so many links I sent myself. Let's go to this one first. Okay. I'm assuming everybody knows who Charles Manson is and the family, right? If you do not know who Charles Manson, well, not Charles, well, I guess if you don't know who he is, put a one in chat. But I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Manson is. This dude was psycho. Hey, Simply Rockstar. Hey. Two. Oh, you live here? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've got several videos. We'll kind of just go through them and, because I mean, we can't play all of them, it'd take forever. But let's just go through them and see. And I want to know at the end, we're going to do a poll and I want to see everybody's opinion about this one. And this is intriguing to me because I have looked up, I have been researching Manson and the family on and off since I was like 14 years old because it's just mind blowing to me how people can allow this to happen to them, like in the sense of becoming a cult member. So okay, Kia, we're gonna go over it here. Let me share this. But I want y'all to pay attention and let me know at the end exactly how you feel when I put the poll up. And smoke them if you got them. Y'all ready? Let's go. I'm going to put it on 125 and see how it's.
Own up to his share in this. I take offense to that. Manson doesn't own up to his share in this. I take offense to that. I take
okay, now this is the woman that it has just been released.
Responsibility for my part. And part of my responsibility was helping create him.
The words of a convicted killer, Leslie Van Houten has spent more than 2/3 of her life behind bars for the role she played in the infamous Manson family murder spree.
Is she a nice girl? No. Is she an animal? I think she was then, and I fear that she still is.
This week, she became the first member sentenced in the high-profile slayings to be released from prison.
When I look at Leslie, I don't look at her to her crime. I look at Leslie as who she is as a person.
The 73-year-old walked out of prison Tuesday. Tonight, the anger and frustration from the victims' families, who hoped this day would never come.
I prayed until I was gritting my teeth that she gets a flashback of the screams, the grunts, the blood.
I'm a convict. I'm an outlaw. I'm a rebel. I'm not a Sunday school teacher.
The horror of the Manson family murders goes back nearly 54 years. 1969 was the era of free love.
Oh, is that what it...
drugs, rock and roll, and civil rights. It's the...
Okay, I thought you couldn't see it. Oh, bitch, I love you.
First year, man walked on the moon. The year John Lennon and Yoko Ono staged their bed-in for peace as the war in Vietnam raged on the other side of the world. The atmosphere of peace...
Hey, Unfiltered. Good to meet you, babe.
Love and drugs
Welcome.
Created an ideal backdrop for prison convict Charles Manson to build what he called his family.
The movement is like a magnet for all these people whose particular characteristics make them highly vulnerable to the thing that Manson has, the ability to manipulate.
Back in 1994, Diane Sawyer sat down with two of the women who joined Manson's family and even talked to the man himself.
It's crazy
Can you see yourself in
motherfucker.
I can see myself in there. You ever have mirrors where I'm at?
Here's the key thing to remember. This figure who walks into the room to talk to Diane Sawyer, who looks like he's been worn out and hung up wet for so long. Do not confuse that guy with the Manson of the late 60s. Footage of him from that era tells a very different story. He is commanding, he is somewhat magnetic, and really a much more malevolent force.
Leslie in high school is very bright. She's gorgeous. All the boys love her. She plays baritone sax in the marching band, for gosh sakes.
Leslie Van Houten is an example of how people can be very normal, but all of us have vulnerabilities, and Manson could smell it.
I seem to want more living out of life than what was expected of young girls at that time. Drugs, sex, breaking away from the norm.
No,
So he'd break people down.
no. Leslie Van was not part of Sharon Tate. She was part of how do you say it? How do you say it, Dan? LaBianca. There we go. The LaBianca murders. Thank you, Dee.
Build him back up in his image.
It didn't happen overnight. He spent a lot of time taking
Me too,
middle-class
Unfiltered.
girls and remolding them. I was an empty shell of a person that was filled up with Manson rhetoric.
Psychedelic drugs were a big part of Manson's
There we
draw,
go,
and he would
yeah.
often preach to the group while everyone was high.
He would personally put the dosages in his followers' mouths. But when he took some himself, he was careful to take less so he'd stay in control. Sometimes he'd claim he was Jesus Christ, come again.
Sometimes he would reenact the crucifixion when we were on LSD. And it was very realistic. And then make the connections of man, son of man, and then the questions would begin. Would you die for me?
Thanks
and in
for
their
joining,
drug-induced situation, they listened. So he used LSD as a form of mind control.
By August of 1969, Manson had turned his eyes to the Hollywood Hills and a house on Cielo Drive. At the time, Roman Polanski, director
it
of
was
Rosemary's
16.
Baby, and his 26-year-old wife, up-and-coming actress Sharon Tate, lived there.
Nobody took my breath away like Sharon Tate.
She's gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous.
I don't like that word starlet at all because there's no such thing, actually. I feel it before you even make an appearance. It's very necessary to learn your craft.
Tate soon landed a role in the 1967 movie adaptation of Valley of the Dolls.
I guess the reason they're talking about Tate, see, to me, in this is just showing you not specifically about Leslie. It's a look back. That's what it says. A look back at the Manson slayings after Leslie Van Houten's release. So it's just kind of like a refresher course, okay? A refresher video.
Mother, I know I don't have any talent, and I know all I have is a body, and I am doing my best exercises.
The
She
night of
was so
August
pretty.
8th, Tate was 8.5 months pregnant. Polanski was in London for work, so the actress had a group of friends at their home keeping her company, including coffee heiress Abigail Folger, celebrity hairstylist Jay Sebring, and aspiring screenwriter Wojtek Frykowski.
It's simply going to be a quiet, comfortable night. And of course, it turned out not to be.
That night, Manson dispatched a group of his most devoted followers, including Charles Tex Watson, Patricia Krenwinkel, and Susan Atkins, to the house on Cielo Drive and kill everyone inside, no matter who they were.
Hey, now hear me out. Susan Atkins, I think she is selfish as fuck. I think she doesn't regret anything. She might be dead now. I don't know. I'll have to check.
I told him to go do what Tex said. I never told anybody to do anything other than what they wanted to do.
The group scaled the security fence, and Tex cut the phone lines. As they moved toward the house, they encountered their first victim. Stephen Parent had just been visiting the caretaker. Tex Watson shot him point blank 4 times.
I was so high on speed that I understood what I was doing, but it just didn't make any difference anymore.
The 4 killers break into the house. They cut through a screen window and sneak in that way. They find Wojtek Frykowski sleeping on a couch in the living room. Back in the bedrooms, Abigail Folger reading a book in bed. Jay Sebring and Sharon Tate in her bedroom sitting on the bed talking.
Okay.
Tex Watson walked in and he said, I am the devil.
Good.
I'm here to do the devil's work.
Then Tex says, we're going to kill you.
Everyone else at that point obviously was getting really frightened and scared. From the moment
Fuck
that
her too.
Tex had said
I'm
to all of
sorry.
us, I'm gonna kill everyone in that house, I knew this.
I'm sorry. I guess my opinion's already kind of known. Fuck all of them. Fuck her too.
This is pure madness. What began to happen is a scuffle started taking place between Tex and
Hey, Queen
J.C.
Bella.
Bring. And Watson then stabbed him, shot him, killing him. And then pandemonium broke loose.
Abigail Folger, Wojciech Frykowski make a break for it out in the lawn.
And I began to stab her. I remember her saying, I'm already dead. When I looked around, I knew this is wrong. Abigail Folger ended up getting stabbed 28 times. Frykowski ended up getting stabbed 51 times.
Susan Atkins stabbed Sharon Tate to death and told her she was going to do it.
I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing for her. And she begged for her life and for the life of the baby.
Welcome to the hippie hood. Thank y'all for joining. Kia and Clover, thank y'all.
Welcome to the hippie hut, man. Let's vibe.
And now that I'm thinking about it, they considered themselves hippies. You ain't no hippie if you can do some shit like that. I'm just saying. Like, it's a disgrace for them to consider themselves hippies. It's just disgusting.
Manson had told the group to make sure and leave a message behind. So they did, writing the word pig on the front door in Sharon Tate's blood.
If you're going to do something, do it well. And leave something with you. Leave a sign to let the world know that you were there. Have a good day.
We have 5 dead bodies, 3 male bodies and 2 female bodies.
The next night, around midnight, the city news ticker jumped to life.
The city of Los Angeles has had another multiple murder.
And I shouted across the newsroom.
Hey, B. Tim. Amy, I'm gonna come back to your statement after this video.
It's happened again.
On the night of August 9th, Manson once again set his followers on a target, this time the home of grocery chain owner Leno LaBianca and his wife Rosemary. The group once again included Tex Watson and Patricia Krenwinkel, and for the first time, Leslie Van Houten. Manson himself escorted them to the house before leaving.
I knew that people would die. I knew that there would be killing.
Charles Manson
No
told me,
shit,
Rosemary
you knew
LaBianca, not to worry, that it was just a robbery and he wasn't going to hurt them. He wasn't going to hurt them.
Pat and I took Mrs. LaBianca into the bedroom, and the sounds of Mr. LaBianca dying came into the bedroom. When Mrs. LaBianca heard her husband being killed by Tex, she started calling out to him and yelling for him.
And Tex came in and killed her.
And then Tex turned me around and handed me the knife, and he said, do something. Because Manson had told him to make sure that all of us got our hands dirty.
That's right, Luna.
And I stabbed Mrs. LaBianca in the lower back about 16 times.
Yeah, 16, see?
It
That's
took
what I
law
thought.
enforcement 3 months to link the Manson family to the murders. But by that time, the stage was set for a trial that would both fascinate and disgust those who watched.
It was insanity from beginning to end. It was a circus.
It was on television every night. It was spectacle.
Manson would come in suspicious or charming,
Look at that
demonic or eerily, amiable. Even more shocking were the sight of the 3 women.
How do you feel, Miss Krenwinkel?
In these colorful dresses. Sometimes they'd be singing. The contrast between the savagery of the crime
Little bitches.
and the kind of carefree nature, it was deeply unsettling.
Every bit of it was planned out by Charles Manson.
The entire proceedings were scripted by Charlie. Every day we'd meet and he'd decide, well, today I want you each to stand up and hold your hands in some stupid symbols. You're going to get up and scream, the old gray mare. You're going to get up and burn an X in your head.
I think
You'll go
so,
bald.
too.
And that day we proceeded through the events as he said it.
Hello.
Eventually, all 5 were found guilty of murder and sentenced to death. Leslie Van Houten, who was convicted only in the LaBianca's deaths, became the youngest woman in California sent to death row. And you can stream the entire episode of 2020's Truth and Lies, The Family Manson on Hulu.
All right, so let me address a few of the comments. Rowena, I have no empathy for any of them. I just can't. I can't either, girl. That's what I'm saying. Like, God, I hate to have hatred for people, but I really cannot stand those people. Amy said, you're going to let a person who is 70 out of prison who was last free as a teenager. I agree, Amy. I agree. I think it was irresponsible to let this woman, she ain't going to be, this is going to be way too much for her. Now, do I pity her in that way? Yes. She needed to keep her ass in prison and die there. Like, it just is what it is. B. Tim said he went to a local CIA MK Ultra house that gave drugs free to people. Who, Manson? That's where he got it all? Is that what you're saying, B. Tim? And then Carrie said, how do you talk about it so coldly still? I don't see how you suddenly gain empathy if you're that sick. They say because now that they're no longer brainwashed and they're not part of that family, that they see it for what it was, which was him brainwashing them, basically. I don't know how to explain it. All right, let's go back to the live comments. No, it sure as hell don't. Boomer baby? I don't know. Shit. I'm sure they had some stuff like that in prison, like tablets and phones and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I think, like, I don't think she's going to kill anybody. Does that make sense? It's not that I don't trust her. I don't think her old ass is going to be killing anybody. All right, let's go to the next one. Hold on. Okay, so we just watched this one. We can watch this one. I think it's short. Do y'all want to watch? Let's see. I don't want to watch this if it's the same thing. Hold on. Let's see.
His most iconic crimes. The shocking scene of mass murder on the orders of crazed cult leader horror. 5 pregnant Hollywood.
Sharon was my big sister. Do I miss me?
Nor does Deborah Tate believe the surviving Manson family killers should ever be allowed to go free.
Okay, I think this is pretty much like just going over the story. Kind of same as the last video. I agree, Spivey. I agree. Zoots. All right, let's look at a different. Let's go. Let me look at a different one. Okay, let's see. I got a few videos. I got a lot of videos, y'all. So we're just gonna play them out. I think most of them are really short. Okay, so let's share this one. This is a family member. Let's just watch.
The most gruesome, some of the most infamous murders in the entire history of our country. And tonight, a convicted killer from the Manson family is walking free. Leslie Van Houten released on parole after 53 years behind bars. Now, she was, of course, a part of the group that terrorized Los Angeles over 2 nights in 1969, killing 7 people in some of the most gruesome of ways, including actress Sharon Tate, who at the time was pregnant. Van Houten was convicted of killing a couple in their own home, stabbing the wife 16 times at the crime scene, Now, she wiped her fingerprints at that crime scene. She changed her clothes. She even drank chocolate milk from her victim's refrigerator. And she says that she did it as a follower of Manson's.
I believe that he was Jesus Christ. And it was his view and belief that all of this would happen. And part of his thing was not to have individual thinking and don't ask questions. And I bought into it lock, stock, and barrel. So I never asked him, well, how is that going to happen?
Now, California's governor, Gavin Newsom, had previously rejected her parole 3 separate times, but this time he didn't fight it. I want to bring in Anthony DiMaria. His uncle, Jay Sebring, was one of the victims of the Manson family. Anthony, thank you for joining me this evening. You know, there's been a lot that has been talked about and said over the years, 5 decades worth and more. The nation, of course, has been fascinated by all that happened. It is unbelievable to think this is a member of your own family who was one of the victims. Before we even begin, you know, tell me what you're feeling on a day like today, knowing that one more person is now freed.
Well, the first thing is obviously my thoughts are with the victims, all the victims, and all of our families, because as Leslie collectively tortured, conspired, and killed her victims, so too our families are collectively bound by the loss and suffering of her crimes. And it's clearly that Leslie Van Houten's release it profoundly impacts our families, but I fear that a very dangerous, pernicious precedent is established today that will impact millions of victims of violent crimes throughout the state of California today and in the years to come.
What is that precedent that you're talking about? Because, of course, you have been very critical, understandably, of the idea that she considers herself to be a victim of Charles Manson. And I wonder, what is the precedent you're speaking about, that the governor has decided not to stop this appeal or appeal once again? What is the precedent?
The precedent is established now. You have Leslie Van Houten has always kind of propped herself up as a Manson follower, but she's anything but. She is a cold-blooded killer in one of the most notorious murder rampages in United States history. So with her release now, any other violent criminal or killer whose crimes fall beneath the bar of Leslie Van Houten's very extreme, very crimes that also have historical impact, that opens the door for them. And it is our fear that the floodgates in the California penal system will be unhinged.
I am curious, has she ever reached out to you or members of your family? I mean, she spent more than 50 years now behind bars. There are others, obviously, who have been convicted. Has there been any contact between the now released woman and yourself or your family?
No, with Leslie Van Houten, she committed the crimes on Waverly with the Rosemary and Leno LaBianca, and was not present at my uncle's murder on the evening of August 8th. As I understand it, there are certain CDCR rules that prohibit the offenders to contact the families. So, so no, I haven't received any outreach from Leslie.
What's your view now of Governor Gavin Newsom, knowing that he did not, at this occasion, fight?
You know, I appreciate that question. I certainly have respect for Governor Newsom and the Attorney General, but our families strongly, vehemently disagree with their decision not to file an appeal.
Anthony DiMaria, thank you for joining us, and thank you for shedding some light on your family members, and we will think of them.
Okay, so that's how that family member feels. And then I've got Sharon Tate's sister. So let's listen to her and see how she feels. I'm sure all of them feel like, what the fuck? What are y'all doing? Come on, man.
It was one of the most brutal, most infamous crimes in history. The Tate-LaBianca murders by members of the cult that followed killer Charles Manson. Now, one of the Manson family killers could be granted parole. A California appeals court ruled that Leslie Van Houten should be released from prison. She was sentenced to life behind bars more than 50 years ago for her role in the infamous Manson murders. Charles Manson and his followers went on a 2-night killing spree in the summer of 1969, killing actress and model Sharon Tate and 4 others the first night. The second night, they killed a supermarket executive and his wife. Van Houten has been denied parole before, so there will likely be a lengthy legal battle before she's potentially released. Families of some victims don't want that to happen. Joining us now is Sharon Tate's sister, Deborah. And Deborah, your sister was 8.5 months pregnant when she was murdered by the Manson family. Your reaction that one of the killers might now be released?
My reaction is that I knew that we would get here one day. Unfortunately, it's appalling to me that as a society we would let predatory killers that have been categorized as domestic terrorists even be considered for parole. But that is the law as it stands. The California governor has the decision to...
Heather, I can't find that. What you said, the LaBianca's daughter wrote a letter. Is that what you said? That's okay. Just answer it. That's all right.
Appeal this to the California Supreme Court, and I'm hoping that people will write the governor and tell them how they feel.
Will you also fight her release?
Absolutely. I've been appointed a family representative for more than 2 decades for the LaBianca family. They are in such egregious situation emotionally and physically over this latest news that they can't stand beside me or behind me at this point. This is catastrophic news to them, to the other victims of the Manson family, as well as hundreds, possibly thousands of other victims' families that I have heard from in the last 24 hours begging me to turn this train around because they know it will eventually affect their cases.
Leslie Van Houten got the death penalty initially. They all did. And then the California Supreme Court ruled a year later that the death penalty was unconstitutional in 1972. And all their sentences were then commuted to life in prison. The parole board has said that Van Houten has shown remorse for her crimes and has, quote, extraordinary rehabilitative efforts. Do you think it's possible that she's a different person now?
I sit in a hearing room at least once a year across from her, and I am privy to information from 50 years worth of records spoken from her, her various attorneys, parole commissioners, et cetera, et cetera. The California board wants rehabilitation to work, of course. We all do. But there's a certain category of person that is unlikely for that to happen. Judge Rothenchild got the information at the 11th hour that was spoken into record.
I found
by
it, Heather.
Leslie herself.
I got it. Thank you, Baby. I copied it from your
basically,
comment.
I'm going to
Thank
give
you.
you the crib note version. She has a tendency to choose partners in her personal relationships that have also committed extremely violent crimes. And then to me, as well as to the appellate court judge, that is a huge red flag. She has associated herself
You're
with...
talking about while she's in prison. I'm just curious.
That is correct.
Decipher.
And when you sat in that courtroom every year, just feet away from her, how did she seem to you?
She is speaking rehearsed words. They take classes. Part of the rehabilitation program is they actually teach inmates what to say and how to handle themselves. That is the rehabilitative program as we know it currently. She has never said she was sorry in a letter or a personal form to the LaBianca family. She will cry phony tears in the courtroom saying she's sorry to the parole board, but not to her victims' families. I got a letter from Charles Manson.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com
Well,
to
what
find
the
News
fuck?
Nation.
They cut that one off. Jeez. Okay, the one that, so this is, let me get to it. I've got it right here. Heather posted this. Hold on. Is it gonna make me murder trucker? Close that. Thank you. Share this tab instead. Okay, this is Leslie Van Houten murdered my dad and stepmother. She should still be in prison. Would y'all rather listen? Let's listen instead of me having to read it.
Leslie Van Houten murdered my dad and stepmother. She should still be in prison. Opinion. Love and logic do not always mesh together in neat, harmonious ways. This idea has occurred to me more than once as I try to reach a logical conclusion and accept that the woman who participated in the brutal murders of my father and stepmother has been released from jail. On Tuesday, Manson family cult member Leslie Van Houten was released from prison on parole after serving 53 years. She was convicted in the murders of my dad, Leno LaBianca, and stepmother, Rosemary LaBianca, who were killed in their home on August 10, 1969. More than once, I have combed through my memory bank in search of some kind of timeless quote that explains how to move forward peaceably. I am a reasonably spiritual person, and I understand the concept of forgiveness and letting things go for karmic purposes. I have heard over and over all month long that the murders were over half a century ago, that Van Houten is a changed woman with deep feelings of remorse, and that she is no longer a threat to society. I have also heard that victims' family members cannot be objective. We are perceived as illogical, unreasonable and subjective to the point that our voices might actually disrupt the cold, hard facts of the law. These perceptions are unfortunate. My love for my dad is timeless and real. Leno LaBianca was... Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Mother
It's time to shift
Pluckers.
gears.
Are
Back
they
to school
kidding?
shopping is here. Luckily, at Kid to Kid, we're here
got
to keep the
us.
transition hassle-free. Shop brands and styles they love at prices you can appreciate. With trendy outfits, shoes, backpacks, and more, your kids will be best dressed while you spend less. That's right, at Kid to Kid, find everything you need to jumpstart the school year, all in one location. Back to school shopping made easy at Kid to Kid in Kennesaw.
A lovable guy.
They got us,
He was warm
guys.
and fun and people looked up to him in the community. He encouraged us to think deeply and with discernment. He was a great father and role model and he has been sorely missed by his family all these long years. As my sister, Corey, recently explained, the reminder of what we lost and the void it has left on our children and on her grandchildren is heartbreaking. When my cousin, Aletta, called Governor Gavin Newsom's office to find out why Van Houten was released, she said she was met with impatience and a brief explanation, followed by the click of the receiver. Perhaps the person on the other end of the line did not realize just how much she loved her Uncle Leno. How could they know when the victim's family members have been marginalized by the media all these years? The story of the Manson family was evidently more important to the media. We, the victim's family, can be objective and think logically, even when we must ask ourselves, to quote Jay Sebring's nephew Anthony DeMaria in his letter to Newsom, has the world gone mad? Sebring was also murdered by members of the Manson family. Still, the tragedy has left me with traumatic memories. 54 years next month since the murders of my dad and stepmother is a long, long time. In those decades, I have lost many loved ones over the natural course of a lifetime. Like many people who have faced tragedy at an early age, I suffer deeply. I do not cry at funerals, I mourn in private, sometimes for months or even years. Is this logical? Probably not. I don't pretend to be exceptionally knowledgeable about the law, but I do understand that something is askew here. In DeMaria's letter to Newsom, he says that his parents and grandparents were promised by the Los Angeles District Attorney and police that none of the Manson family members would ever be released from prison. Laws change. People change. I get that. But it's not right. There is no justice for the victims or their families.
Next article.
How can anyone trust U.S. Supreme Court justices who won't abide by an ethics code? Opinion. It was shockingly inappropriate for Justice Samuel Alito to express his view that it would be unconstitutional for Congress to require.
Okay, nobody cares about that part. Okay, so I think that was beautifully written. I think that the family members are able to use logic, and I don't think that they're logical at all. Could you imagine? Like, that was like, she's saying like, man, these people affected my life for 54 years so far. And now you're going to let this bitch out? Are you kidding me? Okay, so we want Sharon Tate's sister. Yeah, I agree, Unfiltered. Like, she served 54, right? 50, 53, 54, something like that. I know. I want to pull them up, but I don't want to trigger anybody. So let's go to, this is an interview with Leslie, where she talks about the LaBianca murders. So let's play this one.
How many people were in the house?
2.
Okay, hold on.
And were they?
And so we went into the house, and I would say that that was when I first really understood what was happening.
How many people were in the house?
2, a man and a woman.
And were they tied up?
Yes.
Charles Manson and the other friend had tied them up.
Yes. And they were very frightened. And Pat and I went in the kitchen. I think Tex said to get knives, or anyway, we ended up in the kitchen getting knives. And Pat and I took Mrs. LaBianca into the bedroom. And
Was she screaming?
not at that point. Mostly, what's going on? What are you going to do? And I tried to hold Mrs. LaBianca down, and her head was covered with a pillowcase. I don't know if I did that. I could have. And she heard her husband dying in the living room.
Who killed him?
Tex.
Stabbing him too?
Yes. And when she heard, she struggled. And Pat went to stab her, and the knife bent. And she was yelling out for her husband. And by that time, I was very torn inside. You know, I felt that I needed to really almost be a good soldier in this mission that had to be done, and I was not.
Also saying, why am I here? Or did you not question why you did?
I don't even know if I could have put that together. I wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible.
How was she killed eventually?
She was stabbed. I went and I called Tex, and I said that we weren't able to kill her. And then Tex went in the bedroom, and Patton went into the living room, and I went and I stood in the hallway. And then Tex turned me around, and he handed me a knife, and he said, do something. And so I went in, and Mrs. LaBianca was laying on the floor, and I stabbed her.
Where?
In the lower back.
Yeah, and I stabbed her in the lower back 16 mother clucking times. Are you kidding me? Do something. You could have went in there and just stabbed once. Like, what do you mean? No, you were full of your demented fucking weird ass hatred. Oh God, it was so weird.
Around 16 times.
That's that shit. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what? So you do something. He gave you the knife and said, do something. Do something. and you chose to do something 16 motherfucking times. I'm sorry. I just can't get with that. That's what, no, you was in your warped fucking drugged out mind. I don't think she should have been, personally, I don't think she should have been offered the option to get out. I think she got blessed with them abolishing the death sentence there. And I think that's what, okay, like, all right, you got a little bit of a break, but you need to spend the rest of your damn life in jail. You need to die in jail. Because again, I don't think she's out and she's gonna, I don't think she's a danger, but I just don't think she should have that freedom. Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. I just, again, I feel like out of all of them, she's the, even though she hasn't apologized to them directly, I feel like out of all of them, she is the one with the most regrets. Does that make sense? Hey, Richard Hanley. Right. Where's their second chance? She got lucky to get a second chance when they abolished that death penalty. So, I don't know. Now, look, this one, and I can't pull them both up. So, hold on. I'm about to share this. This is the link to the video. It's the, what you call it? Damn it. I'm keep having brain farts. The transcript to the video we're about to watch. So let's see. And I took a screenshot of where I wanted to start. And I think it was at 27. So I might be right on the money. Yeah, 27. So this is her account back then. This was like right after it happened. And it's kind of hard to understand some of it. And that's why I dropped the link to the transcript in case you want to click on that and read it while you listen. But we're going 27 minutes in, so you would have to find where we're at now in this video on the transcripts.
So, the night after the Tate killing, what happened then?
Well, we were all sitting in the kitchen, and Charlie pulled me out to the side, and he said, "Are you crazy?" And I said, "Well, yeah."
He said, "Are you crazy?" And you said, "Yeah." No, what does crazy mean to you?
In other words, it meant, are you almost, to the regular person's thinking mind, are you crazy enough to believe the way I believe, to see the way I see, that we are, you know, that we have been sent down to start this in motion? And I said yes, because I do. I'm crazy enough to believe it. And he said, "Are you crazy enough to be able to go out and kill someone for this?" And I said, yeah, that I was. So he said, "Okay, go get 2 changes of clothes and get in the car." So I did. You want me to continue?
Zoots, I have watched the interview with one dude that actually looks like Manson, like, and he thought he was his son, and he wasn't. Who's got $15 million from her books? Leslie? Skirt, hold up. Excuse me? Who got $15 million? Hold up. So you can collect money from prison with writing books, but not with like, I thought you could hold up. I thought you couldn't make money for profit when you're in prison. Am I off base here? I thought that's what we just talked about the other night. What's up, dude?
I made the grimace shake.
You did already?
Me and Dad did.
Hold on. My honey and young and made a, what is it?
It's the grimace shake.
Grimace?
Like McDonald's grimace.
McDonald's grimace shake?
Purple guy.
The purple guy? It don't even smell though.
It's amazing.
Oh, that is pretty good. Yeah.
Are you going in there?
Yeah, do you have? Never mind.
What, baby?
You don't have any cigarettes in there?
Yeah, no, the box is in. No, I got a few. You want to come? You can have one of these. Okay. I ain't buying her books, Amy M. Oh, so she must have did it before. When was Son of Sam, Dad? When was that? Okay, Deets, was Son of Sam after Gacy or during? You know what I'm saying? Son of a bitch, true crime dime. She don't need no money, Tater. Hell, she made all the money she needed to live out her miserable fucking life. Well, this was... I don't like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that was way after. Yeah, but they should take her money. Any money made before Son of Sam law should have that shit taken. Anybody, once that law was set in motion, previous or after, anybody that tried to make money or did make money should have that money taken. I don't think they should be able to have it. Okay. All right, let's listen.
So there was Linda and Charlie and Tex and me and Katie and Sadie and Clem. We all went out that night. We went driving around. We were driving.
Did everybody have a change of clothes? What kind of a car was it? Were there any weapons in the car?
Yeah, everybody had 2 changes of clothes. And I think we only had 2 weapons that I knew of in the car. Those were big knives. And they were underneath the floor mat. One of them was, anyway, that I was sitting on in the back seat. And it was Johnny Schwartz's car, an old, probably in the 50s, a Chevy or something like that. And so we drove and we drove and we drove. And
I don't know, Dad. Yeah, I think once that law was put into place, it should have been like, and if you're still alive before that and you made some money, hand it over. We finna spread it out to the victims. Yeah, it's personal as well. But the thing is, they didn't know these fucking people. It's crazy. All right, let me have the comment and now.
They couldn't find any place, and I was tired, and most everybody was tired, so we went to sleep. And then when I woke up, I heard Charlie talking to Sadie, or no, Tex. That's who he was talking to, Tex. And he said, I got everything okay, and they think it's a robbery.
Yeah, 1969, because that's when that was the year my mom was born. Actually, when is this interview? Oh my gosh, this interview is a few days after she was born.
And just, they're tied up. Just go on in. I got their wallet. They're sure it's a robbery. Just tell them everything's okay so that when they go, don't make it so that they got to be tortured. Make it quick and easy, for them. Because just as...
Did he say anything about what had happened the night before? That something about Tex getting everybody all heated up?
I remember talk about it, but I can't really say for sure if I actually heard him saying it, but it was mentioned that he'd blown it, because then these people were afraid. And the idea was to do it.
What's going on, man?
Because when it came down.
Oh, it's going in and out.
So we tried to make it. Oh, so Katie. I didn't tell you that. So we went in. No, Tex went in. Yeah, that's right. And this alarmed the people. The two girls would be walking in if it was on. And the woman, she turned around.
Why is it going in and out?
Here? Well, we only want to take what. And she says, well, we don't. I'll get, she changing it. Tex was real calm and cool.
I can't hear anything.
Just gonna take your money.
What was Tex? What were you armed with?
We hadn't gotten any.
Your head. And if you did, what did you?
It's still going in and out on here.
Yeah. She didn't make any.
Who stabbed her?
Katie did, and then Tex did. No, I didn't see Tex do it. He had the good knife.
If you were in the same room.
He had the good knife. Yeah, I know, Dad. You can barely hear it, but I'm going to let it just keep playing. I'm going to go back just a little.
Or it would have been she stabbed the woman. I was freaky about the whole thing. Then I was watching, more than I was paying attention to what I should have been doing.
Not paying attention to what I should have been doing.
I understand Tex was in the other room with you and Katie were with the woman. Was that a pillowcase around her head? And if you did, what did you?
Yeah, it was a lamp cord.
Yeah, it was a pillowcase and a lamp cord. I thought she just said on that other interview that she wasn't sure if she put the pillowcase. What? Do y'all think we should keep playing this one? It's so quiet. Only it almost sounds like they're covering up like the recorder or something on and off, like they're moving or something. She does know what she did. She said in that interview with Larry King that
She thinks there might have been a pillowcase on her. And if there was a pillowcase on her head, she may have been the one to do it. She didn't know. But right here, she straight up said, yes, there was a pillowcase.
Fogging out, but
Her husband died.
oh, yeah, well, her husband. So the woman heard her. The woman heard her husband because all of a sudden she jumped up.
Okay, the woman heard her husband because all of a sudden she jumped up.
I mean, she got the lampshade. She was about to take with it, and I put her back. What's happening to Leo?
What's happened to Leo? What's happening with him?
And we kept, it's all right.
We kept assuring her, it's all right, it's all right.
And Katie tried to stab her, and the knife wasn't.
This is the same thing she said a minute ago, that Katie tried to stab her and the knife bent up.
So, and I can't remember which one of us did it. It could have been me. And we said, text.
Okay, and then right here she says, we don't remember which one of us did it. It might have been me that said, Tex, come here. But then in the Larry King live, now this is the second fucking lie when you're comparing them. Because in the Larry King live, she said she knew that it was her. She is the one that called Tex to come here. Now, this was 4 months after the murders.
But she was dead within a minute. She didn't make any.
Who stabbed her?
Katie did, and then Tex did.
Katie did, and then Tex did. They said, let's do it.
He had the good knife.
Tex had the good knife. Oh my God.
How did you not see Tex do it?
If you were standing in the same room, how would you not see Tex do it?
Run out of the room.
I didn't catch that.
Room to tell, it's sort of foggy, that part, but this is where I can recall it.
It's kind of foggy, that part, but this is where I can recall
That
it.
I had run out of the room to get Tex, and I had seen the man. Tex ran by me in the doorway. I remember, it comes in pictures, and the picture I see is Katie trying to get the knife in her throat, and it wouldn't go.
What? What'd she just say?
And the picture I see is Katie trying to get the knife in her throat.
Katie's trying to get the knife in her throat. Okay, that makes sense, Dad. Okay. Yeah, because that's what I was about to say, is it sounded like this one was her trying to avoid, like, distance herself as much as possible. Yeah, leave something witchy. Yep.
And it wouldn't go. And then I remember seeing her laying flat in front of her closet, all bloody on her stomach. I remember the man laying on the sofa gurgling.
Oh, God.
Deep, bloody gurgle. And so then we were going to make the house look freaky.
Now, did anybody give you any instructions about what you making the house look freaky?
Well, in order to create, it had to be looked like an obvious murder, that there was no robbery, nothing behind it, just flat out to do it, to start this paranoia going. And so we had been told the best time to use our witchcraft.
Who told you that? When was it told to you? And what is witchcraft?
Well, Charles told it to us, and I can't remember just, it might have been before we went in the house or before we even left.
When you say Charles and all these conversations, you mean Charles Manson, is that correct?
Yes. So, and what witchcraft was or is to the group was just that women are more aware of men, and that because they know how to take care of the man. So witchcraft is just all the little things a woman does. Like sewing would be a form of it. So he said this is when you can use your greatest amount of witchcraft, meaning you can use your imagination and do, a whole number, meaning making it look ugly. But I couldn't get behind that, and I don't think any of the others could, and I really don't think that Charles could. So I went back in the bedroom and I saw the woman laying down, and Tex handed me the knife and, said, okay, get to it.
Was the woman dead at that time? And if you think she was dead, what made you think she was dead?
I'm positive she was dead. She was just laying. Like the man was, like I say, he was gurgling. And she was just laying there. She didn't even make a moan or a groan. I didn't feel her, her pulse or anything. And her head was covered, so I didn't see her face. I kind of wished I had it.
Why?
Because I could have seen what I'd done more. A face shows so much more that maybe it would have stirred something more up in me. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No.
Well, okay. I know it sounds horrible, but almost for my own punishment, maybe, to see the face after it was dead. And so then,
what the fuck?
I was supposed to mess her up, and would have,
Huh? I think she's 70. Is she 68, 70? Something like that. I'm sorry, that girl. Did y'all hear that? Excuse me? Excuse me, ma'am.
A face shows so much more. Could have, laying there. The man was like I'm positive she was dead. She was just laying there.
I'm positive she was dead. She was just laying there.
Like the man was, like I say, he was gurgling.
The man, he was like I was saying, he was gurgling.
And she was just laying there.
She was just laying there.
She didn't even make a moan or a groan.
She didn't even make a moan or a groan.
I didn't feel her, her pulse.
I didn't feel her, your pulse or anything. And her head was covered, so I didn't see her face.
I kind of wished I had it.
I kind of wish I had of.
Why?
Because I could have seen what I'd done more.
Because I could have seen what I'd done more. Oh, you filthy bitch. I hope she dreams this. Oh, my God.
A face shows so much more that maybe it would have stirred something more up in me.
Oh my, that bothers me.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Well, okay, I know it sounds horrible, but almost for my own punishment, maybe, to see the face after it was dead. And so then, I was supposed to mess her up. And I took the knife and I started stabbing, and I turned into an animal almost. I just completely let out on that woman's back. I must have.
Oh my God. I just seen a comment. Charles Manson, white boy, work button. Somebody asked me. Oh, I know, Spivey. Was it Mellow one? Mellow One, did you ask me if I had any of her parole board videos? I don't, but do you want me to look them up? That's what I try to do a little bit because it can be too heavy sometimes. I mean, it's just how I deal. Some people, it's, they just don't understand it, and some people do. So, yeah, I completely let out on that woman's back. What the fuck? I am sorry. I know they were tripping. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Is it showing a question? Let me know if you wanted me to pull up the parole board ones or if there's anything specific. It might not be showing it since I have the poll up. Can y'all see it? I did a question and answer. I worded it wrong, but oops, my bad. Let me know if y'all can see it. I'm glad, True Crime. I'm glad I can bring some ease to you. Are you, Mellow One? You think that she should be free? I love your name, Helen Highwater. You know that. Oh, thank you, Richard. I'm over on Vellies. I'm in the chat on Vellies. Deets introduced me to Velly. So I see you over there sometimes. Oh, Mellow One thinks Helen Highwater. Okay, I'm going to dismiss the poll. Let's go look. Let's see what we've got. It's been about the same the whole time. Leslie Van Houten, should she be free? 22% yes, and 78% no. 176 votes. So let's end the poll. All right, let's keep going.
I've done it about 10 times. And I turned into an animal almost. I just completely let out on that woman's back. I must have done it about 10 times. And then
Was the actual stabbing of the woman, was that unusual to you? Did it feel different than you thought it might have felt?
it felt so weird that I blew my mind behind it, if you understand what I mean by blow my mind. I mean, I lost control. I went completely nuts.
I haven't seen just a YouTuber tonight, Dad.
It was, do you want me to explain? It was hard to get through. It was like when I thought of stabbing, I didn't really have any idea in my mind, but it's a real feeling. It's not even like cutting a piece of meat. It's much tougher.
Oh my God.
I had to use both hands and all my pressure, all my strength behind it.
Seriously, listen at her warped fucking brain, man. Ugh. That's fucking wild. Oh, there she is. Oh, just a YouTuber gifted memberships? Is that what Dad was asking? Oh, thank you. Shush a YouTuber. Thank you for supporting me, baby. I appreciate it. And if you got a gifted membership, make sure to thank just the YouTuber because she's the shit.
Welcome to the Hippie Hut, man. Let's vibe.
Welcome to the Hippie Hut, man.
Let's vibe. And just for all the renewals of memberships tonight, I'm going to show George twerking. Richard, did you see that? Did you see my chicken twerking? No, I'm not muted. Charlie says on Netflix. I haven't seen that, I don't think. Whoa, true crime dime, not burnt out hippies. Is that where hippies go to die? Okay. Let's continue on. We can't be here all night.
To get it in. And so once I started, the feeling was so weird that I just kept doing it. Like I said, I did about 10 times, I think. And then, would you want me to continue? Then I went into the other room and I noticed that there had been things written on the wall. There was pig and rise and helter skelter. And I mean, that might be all. There might have been something else.
Now, what did those words mean to you, and what were they written in, and where were they written?
Helter skelter was written on the refrigerator, and that was used to let people know that the Beatles were the prophets, and they were telling it like it was, and that it's coming down fast, and you just be ready, get it on, do whatever you have to do for this whole thing to be over. And Pig was the white businessman who hated his neighbor, couldn't look at his neighbor with love, who was going to get it in the end. And then Rise was for the black man, saying that it was his turn to, be leader after all that time. And I don't remember where Rise, I think, was written on the wall. And I'm not sure where Pig was written, but I know that they were written in blood. Mr. LaBiancas.
Now, all these things that we've talked about, Helter Skelter and Pig and so on and so forth, they're all things that came out of this Beatle album we've been talking about. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Beatles. I think Katie did.
Tell us about what property, if any, was taken from the LaBiancas, what property, if any, was left, and what you did after the killings.
We took some change, and then I was busy with the fingerprints because I didn't want me to be left. And the others.
What did you do with the fingerprints, and who told you to do something if someone did?
Katie handed me a towel. No, I said, what about the fingerprints? I left some on the lampshade. And Katie handed me a towel and said, go wipe them off with this. So I went and I just about did the whole bedroom all over and everything I had touched. And we did the kitchen and just sort of all over, just a whole fingerprint thing because we hadn't worn any gloves. And then Katie and Tex, when I came out of the bedroom, they were taking a shower. I don't know if Katie actually took one, but I know Tex did. And then after that, we were hungry. And so we went and we took some cheese and milk out of the refrigerator and we took it with us. And we left out the back door and went down the fence and down the sidewalk. Oh, and we changed our clothes inside the house from our black clothes into regular clothes. And Tex's zipper broke, so I had to give him my pair of pants. And I took a pair of Mrs. LaBianca's shorts and put them on.
Tell us if Tex's clothes or anybody's clothes had blood on it, and tell us what you did with the bloody clothes.
I didn't see blood on any of our clothes. We really didn't need to even change them other than they were all black and dark colors. And we took the clothes and we walked for a couple blocks, and then we threw them in a trash can. And then we went and we hid in the bushes and waited for daylight to hitchhike home.
Tell us about the ride home.
First ride we got was from a black man, and he took us to the Griffith Park where the freeway starts, and then this man in this funky old blue and white car picked us up, and he drove us to Chatsworth Street. We even stopped and bought him breakfast at some place on Topanga Canyon Boulevard. I don't remember the name of it. I think it starts with an N. And then he dropped us off at Chatsworth Street, and we went around an orange grove, and then over the highway real quick, and then down in the creek, and we walked up, and then Katie went over to Devil's Canyon, and Tex walked up around the dump, and I came up through the Pony Corral. And then we all just went, let's see, it was morning. We all just started doing whatever we were going to do. Oh, I went down to the farmhouse, and the man who had picked us up hitchhiking came driving around. He came, but I covered up my head and played like I was sleeping, so he never saw me. But he wondered if we were from Spawn's Ranch, and we told him no.
Now, did anybody see you coming back to the ranch? When I say anybody, I'm talking about girls at the ranch. See you coming back, and did anybody see you and everybody else leaving?
Kathy saw us leaving. Kathy Myers. And Squeaker saw me coming back at Glenn's home. And other than that, no. I just went. I mean, when I walked up to the Pony Corral, Len saw me. But other than that, everyone else thought I had just been sleeping all night.
Now, when you left with Charlie in the car, was there anybody else who saw you leaving?
And she knew, because she wanted to go.
How did you know Kathy wanted to go, and why didn't she go?
Well, Kathy was.
I think so too, Grandma.
Coming and going. She said she was with us, but she was, she'd leave every couple of weeks for a few days. In other words, her amount of loyalty to the family wasn't complete. So for her to do it would almost be like a risk. Like she would freak out and then run away, and who knows what she'd do. And she was feeling bad because she wanted to go, because she wanted to
Helen.
help
Thanks,
out.
baby. She wanted to help out.
Now, after you got back, strike that. Was anybody else who went with you that night supposed to go into any other houses and commit any other murders?
Me too, Richard.
All the rest were going to. They were, I don't know where they were going to do. They were just going to do what we had done. Same thing. Well, it was going to be Linda and Clem and Sadie.
You said that Clem was also in the car, and he was about to go out and do the same thing that Charles Watson had done. Is that correct? And had there been some conversation or anything between Charles or anybody as to what was going to happen that night before everybody went out? And especially, was Clem present during any of these conversations?
Yeah, we were all present. We all knew what we were going to go out to do. We all talked about it.
Okay, so that's pretty much her account 4 months after the murders. Yeah, I agree, Glory, they were, but I just don't understand that mindset, the cult mindset, or how you can allow yourself. But I guess everybody's so different. Everybody thinks differently. I guess I can kind of try to see the lack of willpower, but I don't know. The drugs are what made it to where they were so accepting of whatever this man told them. Yeah, the drugs are really, to me, what allowed that weakened mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man. But I think it's a mistake to let her out while she's right at 70 years old. If not 70, she might be 70. But I think that's like you're setting her up for failure. But then I found out she had all that money. So maybe they're not setting her up for failure. Maybe she'll just live out the rest of her miserable fucking old ass life. And, you know, whatever. But I think she shouldn't have been allowed out. Not because she's endangered, but hey, life for a life, man. Yeah, that's the way it seems. Blank slate. Like they stayed in that warped mentality. Oh, yeah, they were way deeper than weed. Yeah, they were dropping acid constantly. Oh, I know. Yep, unfiltered. That's exactly what set it off. Do y'all want to look at Tex Watson's? Okay, because now we're done. But if we're here, whatever. I got a few more minutes. Do y'all want to watch Tex Watson's interview? Or do y'all want me to look at Charles Manson's insane interviews? Like, mm. Yeah, he's the devil perfectly. He's the fucking devil. But I can't sympathize. I don't know. My mind just can't sympathize. It is what it is. The stupid Beach Boys did all of this, man. What was that dude thinking? Oh, yeah, no, Hubs is still playing his game right now. He knew I was going live. He's telling me I don't, because it's not like he says, hey, bitch, get off your StreamYard, you know, come hang out with me. No, it's just we've got a routine and I don't allow YouTube to take over my life. So, but yeah, he was like, just because I'm going to bed don't mean you have to, because he's got to work tomorrow. And today's my, my off day. So. Oh, you're good dates. Oh, Manson is for sure burning in hell. Oh my God, he was wild as fuck. I haven't seen, and that's what I'm saying. I've been researching the Manson situation since I was like 14 years old. And there's still stuff that I haven't seen because it's not like it's something I dedicated so much time to. It's kind of been like a off and on interest, and I'll leave for a little bit and then something will trigger it and I'll come back to it and research it a little more. I mean, and that's kind of what happened this time. Y'all are just going through it with me. I wish they all could be California girls. My hubby bought me that CD. When CDs were a thing. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. That's what I was just thinking, Tattooed Birdie, just a little bit ago. Is maybe this could be Leslie Van Houten, and she's the one that starts the series because she's the one that's been released. And then we could go through each one of their interviews, and we could do it like every Friday evening until we're done. Y'all want to do that? Because if that's the case, if that's what we're going to do, and then we'll cover Manson last. He's going to be the culprit of it all, right? Cassettes. My favorite cassette was Billy Ray Cyrus. Don't tear my heart, my achy breaky heart. If Fur Baby's in here, hell, Dad can tell y'all I listened to that cassette tape on fucking repeat when I was a little girl. Oh, I love MJ. Yeah, I think we should do that. What's Ace of Base, Deets? The hell is Ace of Base? Oh. What do you mean, Dad? I'm I wonder. Oh God, I can't do that. Maybe later we can watch some old school videos like that. Achy breaky heart. Oh, I saw the sun. Open up my eyes. I saw the sun. is that what you're talking about? Oh, my singing is terrible. I saw the sun. Yeah. God. Ooh, Richard, you still got a cassette player? What? Is your dad still playing? Oh. I was making sure he wasn't off yet. I saw the sun. Oh, it's a one-hit wonder? So in a little bit, I'm going to come back and I'm going to go over some Dolly content. Yes, I am. Spin a little bit. I'm going to go over some Dolly Vision content because he was lying today and spreading misinformation. And what do we do here? We correct misinformation. And I've got the receipts. So you're going to want to be here for it. All that she wants is a little something. What is it? What is it she's saying? All that she wants. Yes, he is truth seeker. So we're going to go up. Is another baby. Oh, God. Hey, did y'all know that MJ song? He really does say, Fur Baby, if you're in here, get off your diamond art and put in chat. What's the name of that song? I think it's the one on the bird cage. The MJ song. He talks about vegetables. And my mom, we were arguing about it one day, and then she went and looked it up, and it is the lyrics. He's talking about vegetables in it. I don't know. It was confusing. What? Glory? All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow. Boy, all that she wants is another baby. Yeah. Mama, what's that song? Did you know that he mentioned vegetables? Y'all, it blew my mind. What is it? Come on, Mama. You got this. You got this, Mama. You got this. You're a vegetable? Hey, Jeannie. Hey, baby. I'm glad to see you. Something to do with me? Glory. What are you talking about? When did this happen? And where? Twerking time. Richard, you're our special guest tonight. Let's twerking time it. Today on Crime and Fashions. So, Glory, you're telling me that Dolly did something on Crime and Fashions today. And Glory, you're saying he was trying to get her, he sent something to her and he was trying to get her to open it? Oh. No, I know what it is. I'll tell y'all right now. When Gina was spreading around about talking about the photos that Dolly had sent her. At first, we were like, we want to see pictures. Gina showed a few screenshots. I even was like, shit, I'll send you a few bucks Cash App if you send all the pictures. Well, none of that happened. And so we was like, we're going to need like a screen recording of this proof, right? That Dolly was asking for pictures. Like, because just a screenshot ain't going to work. I want to see what he said before and what he said after, because just the screenshot she was showing seemed like he was just being friendly. Like, not even flirting. You know what I'm saying? Not like he does normally. And so I was thinking like that wouldn't be fair, because then you're going around saying that, like, you're saying that what was it? He was talking shit to Gina is what she was saying. And to me, that wasn't fair if that wasn't the case. And so I offered to get the screenshots from Gina, and I never heard anything. But then she showed him eventually, and we were like, nah, I mean, okay, we see what you're saying, but there's really nothing to him. So we're going to need like a screen recording or something showing like more than just what you're showing right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think it was probably like a month after that article about Gina that turned out, from what Gina says, is incorrect. But I had sent it to him. That's what he's talking about. Gotcha, Dolly. You don't hold nothing over me, homie. Believe that. Gotta be starting something. Is that it? Something. Some. No. God. You don't know what I'm saying? You don't get what I'm saying? Okay. Here we go. Let's try. Okay. I told y'all my brain doesn't work. Like, I have like 50 things going on in my brain at once. Back when Gina came after Dolly, she said that he was trying to get pictures from her and stuff, like hitting on her and shit and messages. And so I was like, shit, because she was saying, y'all gonna have to pay me, whoever wants them. I said, shit, send them to me. I'll send you a little money. Never heard anything. Well, because I wanted to see. Well, eventually Gina ended up coming out with the screenshots that were the conversation between her and Dolly. And when we seen them, there wasn't much to them. And so we were like, you're trying to insinuate this dude's trying to holler at you. Like, we need to see more than that. We need to see a screen recording or something showing the before and after. I think it was me, Cappy, and Queen that all said that. And we never got it. But anyways, it was like a month later. It might not have been a month later. I don't know. I have to go through my emails. But Dolly was talking about the Gina thing and how Gina was saying he was trying to get with her. And I had just been sent that article. And I had also been emailing back and forth with Penny. But I sent that article. I was messy as fuck. And I felt like, damn, she's like saying this about this dude, and it's not even true. And this is what she's got in her history. You know what I'm saying? So it was petty and it was fucked up, but I did email that to him so that he would have it in his pocket in case she kept on saying, hey, he was trying to get with me. And really, it was not the case. He wasn't. But that was before. Hey, Gina, that was before. Thank you, Gina. I am sorry. Like I said, that it was petty of me. But in the moment at that time, you hadn't sent any other screenshots or made any other screenshots public. So I was just like, no, this ain't cool. Because I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me. And I was also in that time trying to bridge a gap to where we weren't fighting all the time. You know what I'm saying? And this was before me and Gina were even knew who each other were. I had just found out about Gina and Molly's. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, that's why, Gina, because you're over there in her chat. For some reason, he's got it out for crimes and fashion. But that's what it is. I just wanted to be yeah, the past is the past. I appreciate you understanding, Gina. I was petty as fuck. I thought I was doing something good because I thought you were the bad guy in that situation, that specific situation. And I don't know if you are or not, but that's what he's talking about. Nice try, Dolly. I can admit when I fuck up. You know what I'm saying? That's what's accountability is everything. It's just like I say, context is everything. Accountability is everything. Oh yeah, he don't like that backlash. What's going on, Blunt B? Oh no, Remy. Richard Henley, I'm glad you're here. But what's going on? What did I miss? Sorry, I missed a lot trying to explain that. I wanted to make sure I said every fucking word correctly and said it exactly how it happened. I didn't. That's just the facts. Why are y'all saying is Blunt B misbehaving? What's going on? What's going on, Packless? What are you doing? Hey, Stifler's mom. Oh, no. I'm not talking about that, Gina. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, I don't know if I would consider Dolly flirting with you the way you know, I don't think, I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just going to say I would need to see more proof. I'm not talking about the situation in the article. You cleared that up. You spoke on that. And that was way after this. This was a while back. Oh, you called Packless Cappy? Oh, I seen somebody saying, "Hey, Cappy," and I was like, "Oh, is Cappy here?" See, okay, so you did. See, I must not have. Like I said, that was a long time ago. It feels like a long time ago. It really wasn't that long ago. Okay, look. I'm gonna. Yeah, he is a punk perv. I know, right? Tattooed. I just wanted to make sure because I knew exactly that's the only thing he can have on me. So I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I'm gonna own that before you can try to. If that's what you're trying to do, fuck it. Like whatever. I hold myself accountable. I know when I fuck up. Oh, I'll have to go see it, Gina. You're gonna have to if you know where the link, like which specific one it was on, send me the link. Popsicle gang, shiz, you know. I agree, Gina. And like I said, you've told your story since then on Queen's panel, and I understand it. That's what he wants, though. Popsicle gang, 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 baby. Yes, she is. I know. She needs a life alert button, don't she, Blunt B? Let me see if Hubs is off the game. I can't see. Hey. Let me know when you're done. Okay, I'm gonna get off. All right, guys. We're gonna call it a wrap. I'm not gonna say call it a night. We're gonna wrap it up for a little bit, and I'll be back on in a little while. And I'll even get extra toasty. Y'all want to get extra toasty tonight? I will. Deets fell down and went boom. Oh, poor Deets. I'm sorry I laugh. Oh, shit. Okay. All right. So we can reconvene later. I'm going to correct some misinformation and pull out some receipts. First, though, I'm going to go chill in bed with Hubs until he goes to sleep. He goes to sleep at 10:30. We're going to sit in bed and eat butter pecan ice cream and play Monopoly Go. That's what we're about to do. I've fallen and I can't get up. Me too, Kate. Nice, nice. All right. See y'all. See y'all in a little bit. Oh, and if nobody's live while I'm off, if you ain't got nothing to do or you find yourself bored, go over to, let me pull it up. Oh, shit. He's so hard to find on here. Well, shit. There he is. Hold on. Oh shit, he's doing a live on Zav Girl, Dolly, and Prayer Garden and at 10 o'clock. Morbid is. There's one of these. I think it's this one. I'm looking for the. I know Morbid's not everybody's cup of tea. I know. Listen. Him and Beast Boy roasted each other for I don't even know how long last night, but I will say, and maybe it's because I don't fuck with Beast Boy, but I would say Morbid won the roast. So, and he's going live. Let's see. I just put his link if you get bored and you want to catch up for the next 30 minutes. There you go. That was the link from last night, and it started. Jesus Christ. It starts about 2. Hold on. About 2 hours, 50 minutes in. And then he has an upcoming live. Let's see. Y'all got to go look at this thumbnail. It did go on for hours because I took a nappy nap today while I was listening to it. He is an acquired taste. I agree, Deets. Morbid definitely won, but he has the patience of a saint. I'm just going to lay it out there. I fell asleep to it to take my nap today, and I woke up to it. And I know I napped for at least 2 hours. And I was like, damn. Ooh. Like, Jesus. Oh. And see, I like Abe too, but nobody else does. But he's an acquired taste too. I don't agree with everything they do, Morbid or Abe, but I still like them. Oh my God. Are y'all serious? Y'all, I've got French doors that come into my streaming room. And they got like little glass pane windows all, from the top down. And I heard tapping on the door and I looked back. And there was my husband and my son's ass cheeks against these doors. I don't either, Deets. I don't even agree with you all the time. Like, and vice versa. Like, just saying. Oh no, Truth Seeker. Oh, I hate going to the dentist. I can't believe them. Both of them had their little white asses up against these doors. I can't believe you. How old are you? How old are you? Don't. Yes, you do understand. No. Y'all need to wipe my glass down now with your ass cheeks up on it. Now they're both flicking me off. Me either, Deets. I struggle with my own opinions sometimes. Yeah, boy mom, for sure. All right, guys. I'm going to come back on in a little bit. Yeah, and we'll talk some shit and go over some receipts. Okay. Catch you in a little bit. Bye.